mean, so speaking of like America and, you know, the elections with the whole CDC shit, let's talk about Kanye.
Yes, Kanye West for president.
You
vote for Kanye?
All right.
Kanye 2020?
I don't know his views. I don't know what his package. I don't know what his whole situation is.
So I'm pretty sure he's a Republican now. And I'm also
and
pretty
I ain't
sure
mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
he's very against abortion.
Yes.
Very against
it. Yes. And you know what? It's hard to find a man who don't know how to mind his own fucking business when it comes to abortion.
What do you mean by that?
Mind your fucking business. It has nothing to do with you. You should not be creating laws or passing anything that has to do with a woman's body. You don't have no say. Like, who? Listen.
So in your opinion, you think a man should not have any opinion on abortion, or is there like some line somewhere?
I think he needs to shut the fuck up, because at the end of the day, like, I'm sorry. What do you know? Listen. It is no one's obligation, no one's right to tell a woman who is pregnant if she can or if she can't have an abortion. I'm sorry, it has nothing to do with you. You don't even know what it's like to be pregnant. You don't know anything about it. Nah, stay out of it. That don't even need to be up to debate within the government. I think that should be personal. I think that needs to be on some own separate shit. I don't understand why men right now, why that's such even a topic. What personal gain do you guys get? I don't get it. Like, what's
the men that I see that are very against abortion? It seems a very high percentage of them.
We don't need no more motherfuckers out here. So it's like, I don't understand.
No. I'm saying it seems like a high percentage of the men that are against it are very Christian. And in Kanye's case, that seems to be the case. He's very Christian.
Oh, I'm
right.
sorry.
It's a religious. It's a
Christian when
thing.
They want to be Christian. They Christian when they want to be Christian.
Jesus, what?
I'm just saying, like, y'all, you listen, and I'm not saying Kanye does any of this shit, but I'm sure Kanye has partied. I'm sure Kanye has done drugs. I'm sure Kanye has done a lot of shit. I'm sure Kanye has had sex before marriage. I'm sure he's done a lot of shit. So you don't get to pick and choose how Christian you want to be. And if that is the case, then it negates everything. Like, it's just not fair to me that you're like, oh, I'm Christian on this, but I'm not Christian on that. Because if he was real Christian, you wouldn't be drinking, and he'd be turned. So what's up?
What about the wine at the communion?
But that's not a drinking in excess or drinking to have spirits. There's a difference. You know, they say that drinking is called a spirit because basically it creates spirits within you. So drinking at communion is a sip versus turning up and taking shots. Come on now.
It's so interesting to me that the whole abortion debate has been going on, and it doesn't seem there has been much progress.
Yeah.
Forever. It just seems like it just never goes away. And people ride or die on that issue, whether maybe they won't vote or they will vote for somebody based on that one issue. And I mean, you know.
Well, let me quote this. Kanye says, Trump is the closest president we've had in years to allowing God to still be part of the conversation. So that means he does value Christianity. And, you know, I guess Trump talks about God a lot, which I never got that impression.
Yeah, I never got that impression either. And in my lifetime, I always felt like George Bush talked about God all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
You remember that? He'd always be
100%.
like, God this, God that.
Yeah.
Or like Mitt Romney, or I don't know. There's so many candidates that are so hyper Christian. And I never thought of Trump as being that guy.
And also, this is, I don't know if I should say this, but you know, Christianity don't believe in being gay. And it's like, y'all need to shut the fuck up with that shit too.
Yeah.
Come on.
They've been changing. It seems like they've been changing on that.
People aren't choosing to be gay. People are born gay. Like, nobody's out here like, you know what? I think my life should be a little harder today, and I think I should like men. Like, no one's on that. Like, people are truly born feeling a certain way. And it's like, I just don't understand why people who are Christian-based have to feel like they have to enforce their values and their beliefs on people. It's like, if you want to be Christian and you want to do you, like, get around your squad, have your town, you know, fuck with those people and do you. But don't be trying to push your shit on everybody else. It's like, not to mention.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this, and I know this may be a little flagrant.
Ooh.
Let's look at the history. Let's look at the history of pedophilia and how pedophilia has been a prevalent thing with the Pope and with Roman, you know, Catholicism. Like, I'm just saying, people are saying a lot of shit And it's like, there's a lot of fucking weird shit going on in that community as well. So it's like, for them to cast so much judgment on, you know, abortion and gay people, it's like, don't throw stones in a glass house, my guy. So I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand. Do you know what I mean? It just seems like...
Yeah, I was going to ask you because you told me a couple days ago that you went to church. And in my experience,
Yes. Okay.
It seems like most churches have been becoming modernized in the sense that they welcome...
So let me give you a little
They
background.
welcome gay people. They welcome that
Yes,
idea.
let me give you background.
Especially the one you went to, I'm assuming.
Yes. So I grew up Catholic. I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota. I was baptized. I was not confirmed.
Catholic? I thought you were Baptist.
You racist motherfucker.
Why is that?
I'm just
racist?
joking because
Oh.
I'm black and you think I'm Baptist.
I'm
No,
Baptist. I was Baptist. I didn't know that was a black thing.
It's definitely a black thing. Anyways, no, I was raised Catholic. I'm from a predominantly area in Minnesota, predominantly white area in Minnesota. And yeah, so Catholicism, you know, I was not confirmed. But what were you asking me? I was getting to...
You just went to church.
Oh, I went to church. Oh.
What was that?
So
modern LA church experience.
Yeah. You know, it's called. I went to. There's an app called Church Home, and also I've been to Mosaic. The church is called. There's a bunch of different ones. Zoe, Mosaic. I like this because it's more of like they're reading from the Bible, the New Testament, but they're not enforcing like Catholicism, like praising the Virgin Mary. In Catholicism, you are giving so much homage to the Virgin Mary, and you're praising her, and you know, you believe in Jesus, and like, it's not as intense. So with Mosaic or Church Home, it's kind of like dealing with daily problems, but they're using scriptures to back it up. So it feels more close to home, and it's not overly saturated with scriptures. It's not like super heavy on like, God wants you to do this. Like, God said you go, you know what I'm saying? It's not very judgmental. And I feel like a lot of like Christian based things are very judgmental, like especially in the South, even from baptism, like Baptists and shit. Like a lot of that is very judgy. So the church I went to feels like an open platform just for like people who are just trying to like be in a good space.
Yeah.
You know?
And the only reason I brought that up is because I think if, you know, at the end of the day, churches are businesses. They're tax.
You know what's
they're,
interesting
They're tax
about
free.
that?
They're tax free. It's like Scientology. Like,
and you know what?
Their money coming in, they're not paying taxes. So at a certain point, you see the drop off. Like, you know what I'm saying? You get a bad rep of like, oh, they don't like gay people. They're really judgy about this, judgy about that. And then over time, they're like, we don't want to lose people. So we're going to be.
That's what it's about. People are trash. Like, I just.
But I mean, whether it's trash or not, there are good things about community coming together and talking and thinking about positive things like the golden rule: do unto others as you would have do unto you. Right? There's things in the Bible that in every religion, they all kind of talk about the same things. Yeah. So, but that's why the Kanye thing is interesting. I mean, he's been about God since Jesus walks. We've been
we just listened to that. You know, one of the things he said is that he believes that Planned Parenthood have been placed inside cities by white supremacists to do the devil's work. So basically, they're saying they're trying to cut. Like, there's this huge theory that goes along with Planned Parenthood that they are trying to eradicate the African American race by allowing abortions, and it's just like, you know, maybe that's true. And maybe that does have some, weight to it. And, the girl who started, what's her name, Margaret or whatever, maybe that is true. But I don't think that at this point, it doesn't matter if it's true, because look, people need to do what they need to do. You're telling me if a girl gets raped, she can't have a fucking abortion? Don't nobody want to live with that shit. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, and men can never realize how it feels because you can never be raped and be impregnated. So it's like, you can't make a decision on something that you can never truly understand. And if you are going to make a decision on it, you can't be biased. Do you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's tricky.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the argument is that you could give it up for adoption, right? It's the same argument that's been for 10, 20 years.
But you're 13 years old, 14 years old. Now you got to drop out of school, carry a baby to term. And now you know what I'm saying? Like, that's still pain. That's still trauma that this person has to go through. So say you get raped. Okay, you probably deal with that for the rest of your life, but no one wants to carry that on for 9 months. It's like, men they don't give a fuck. They're just like, I don't know what it is. If it's ego-based or like, just mind your own business.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some crazy conspiracy theories about all this abortion stuff. So
I
It's
don't know,
interesting.
man.
And
Yeah.
the whole that they're taking these fetuses and it's sex, the whole sex trafficking thing, and the
Fucking stem cell
the
shit.
Q stuff. It was shocking to me because you live near Hollywood.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. And I didn't even realize until just, walking around Hollywood Boulevard multiple times a week and seeing these protests, and there's these sex trafficking protests going on. And the theory is that
Can you pour me up?
Champagne?
No.
Oh. I'm just asking you, like, what do you think about these conspiracy theories? Because they essentially, the craziest ones about them is essentially that elites are using fetuses to prolong their life. Or
Okay, do I think it's the idea is impossible? Absolutely not. Do I think
it
that
just seems like so many people have to be involved to cover that up.
Okay, so here's what I do know. Okay, the placenta and all of like your menstrual cycle and the shedding of the uterine wall. I do know the amount of stem cells, and I do know that what that has to do, like the importance of those cells.
That is true, because people tell you to eat the placenta.
So I do know.
What's the deal with that? There's nutrients
because the
in there?
amniotic sac, all of that shit has a lot of nutrients. It has original blood cells. It has stimuli. So basically, it has all that shit like packaged into one. So I understand how people realize how important that is for to stay looking younger, for for like tighter skin, for like Botox, for everything. But what I'm saying is that's some weird ass shit. Like that's some weird ass shit, and it's just like, I'm sorry, like, oh God, it's just like, it's so ego based that you want to stay looking younger and you will do anything. You will do anything. You know what I'm saying? And not to be on some black white shit, but like the lack of melanin in white people's skin causes them to age so much worse, right? We all know that white people age horribly. We just know that.
So black don't crack?
No, black don't crack. And so I think that the one thing that is the demise of the white community is the fact that they age so horribly. And I think that it's a lot of it's ego based, but it's the truth. So how can you fix that? Stem cell. And it's fucked up, but it's like, it ain't black people who trying to eat babies and shit. I'm just saying, we don't have that issue. It's obviously not an issue in the culture that we want to look younger. We don't have that. So it's just, I just feel like that whole situation is mad weird.
Yeah, the only reason I brought that up is because these protests these are real protests in LA, California, a very liberal state.
Yeah.
And this has been happening for the past couple months.
Yeah.
And I've walked past them. I've watched videos on these people. They're very into like the QAnon movement. Mm-hmm. But essentially they just, they're really into this whole sex trafficking thing. I guess 800,000 kids disappear every year, which is a crazy statistic. But they're taking it that crazy far step, which I haven't found any evidence on it, that these children are going missing so that elites can utilize these stem cells, stay young forever, be powerful. I don't know. And that's why they're voting for Trump.
All I have to say is the aliens or Jesus need to come on get us. Come on back and get us, Jesus.
Space Force.
Aliens, come swoop your girl. If you hear me, come swoop me. I'm out. I'm done with this shit. They eating babies. I'm out. Come get me.
But we're bringing it back to Kanye. You were telling me that God told him something. What'd he tell him?
Did I say that?
You told me. God told him something.
I don't remember.
He told him something about...
Oh, yeah. This motherfucker. I'm going to say that God told him to interrupt Taylor Swift's speech. Like, let me pull it up. Hold on.
It's such an interesting idea, because if you're religious, or even if you're not religious...
He said that in his new interview with Nick Cannon, by the way.
Right.
But
you could make the argument that got him a lot of negative publicity, but all publicity is good publicity, and maybe that took his career higher. Maybe that offered him a lot of blessings.
And he said
right?
that he said that a lot, that all that shit is set up and like none of it is real. And so he was fighting for Beyonce. He said, "I'm gonna let you finish, but Single Ladies was the greatest song of all time," and he's not fucking wrong. But and as being a black man standing up for a black woman, he got a lot of hate. He said he was turned. He drank too much Hennessy. He doesn't normally drink that much. He was lit. Okay.
So the spirits.
Yeah, the spirits got his ass. But you know what? Like, I'm not mad that he did that because I get how he wanted to stand up for her. But what I don't like is, even if that shit is set up, it is what it is. We know that shit ain't real because obviously it's biased. What I'm saying is, you ain't have to do Taylor like that. He ain't have to do her like that because at the end of the day, this is a girl who, you know, even if the system is played to help her, it is what it is. You don't have to fuck up her moment. He fucked up her moment. And to me, black, white, that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to be fair. Like, this is a young person who's like works hard. She writes her own music. You know what I'm saying? She's a good artist. She's not my cup of tea, but she is a good artist. And so for him to step on that and you know, this is the problem that sometimes I feel like a lot of people have. You get to say anything you want based off keeping it real. And it's like, yeah, he is keeping it real, but that don't make it right.
Right. So it's kind of a cop-out. If you're very religious or even just spiritual, you meditate, whatever. Universal energy told me to do this.
No. You don't get to disrespect people off the pretense of keeping it real. It's just not fair.
Is there like a quote that he said, like a...
Yeah, let me find it.
I see you got that article pulled up.
Yeah, let me find it because this is the one...
It's like, damn, I could be out here acting a fool and just blame it on God.
See, that ain't right.
You're like, please. That's about to be chaos. Everyone in the country just acting a fool.
You better not.
No, a very entertaining clip, if you guys can find this, who's watching, is a year or two later, Kanye is accepting an award. Jay-Z is on stage with Kanye.
Yeah.
He says, I'm going to let you finish, Kanye, but mimicking the Taylor Swift thing as a joke.
Okay, so I have it right here. Okay. The 43-year-old claimed his shocking actions against 30-year-old Taylor Swift because a higher power gave him the information. And I quote, right now, God is giving me the information. If God ain't want me to run on stage and say Beyonce had the best video, he wouldn't have sat me in the front row. I would have been sitting in the back. It wouldn't have made it so ridiculous of an idea because I had never heard of this person before. And Single Ladies is like one of the greatest videos of all time. And I was only drinking Hennessy because I didn't want to go to the award show because it was a setup. Okay, temporary psychosis. The rapper said that even though God was sending him this information, he only started reading the Bible after he was hospitalized in 2016 for temporary psychosis. Kanye West believes that God was speaking to him even before he became a devoted Christian. Okay, to make the claim that God was speaking to you, that's why you sat in the front row when you were supposed to say that. Listen, people who make themselves feel like they're more special than they are will create this idea that they have been chosen. And it's like, yeah, Kanye West maybe is a vessel, you know what I'm saying, for many things. But that doesn't give you the right to run up on somebody's shit because God would never say that's disrespectful. There's other ways to go about that. He could have had an interview and it been just as influential. Sorry, you could have went on an interview after and I'm sure would have made the same amount of press. Probably not as bad because, you know, people love negative news.
Yeah, the moment you're accepting the award.
Yeah, I'm sure. But he could have definitely went on the red carpet after, like, I just want to make a point. Just look dead ass into the camera like, I'm going to let y'all know Beyonce had the best song of the year. And it still would have carried a lot of weight. People would have still reported on that. Kanye West said this, blah, blah, blah. But to take away that moment from that girl, because you're saying God told you to do that shit? Nah. Nah.
You reading that article, the most surprised I was by that was he said he never heard of Taylor Swift at that point.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he was like, I never heard of her.
It wouldn't have made it so ridiculous of an idea because I had never heard of this person.
That is crazy to me.
You know okay.
He went on stage to this girl. That makes it like not worse, but it makes it a crazier thing that he did. He was like, right. I don't even know this person. I've never even heard of them.
That would make it more believable. The fact that he said he's never heard of her makes me feel like, okay.
But to me, I'm more likely to do it if I know the person.
Yeah. Okay,
right. If I'm familiar with them, I'm like, okay, like we'll laugh about this in 3 years.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But it's like, I don't even know, like this person could swing on, like, I don't know. You have no idea who this person is. Maybe
she ain't gonna do shit.
Maybe
though.
She did, but like you don't even know who the person is. Maybe they did deserve the award then, just because you didn't know who they are.
Yeah, but Kanye is so pompous that he's like, if I don't know them, then they ain't shit type vibe.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
At what point is it a self-fulfilling prophecy? He has an album called Yeezus, and you just tell, look, I'm chosen. God chose me. Speak to me, God. And that's your intention. Maybe God is speaking to him. You know what I mean? It's like how many people are
but God doesn't
level?
elicit disrespect, and that was disrespectful. It was. At the end of the day, yeah, he was right because I agree with him. Beyonce is the GOAT. Taylor Swift is a cup of tea, and she does so well because she appeals to a certain mass. And at the end of the day, there's more white people than black people in this world. So that's just what it is. I get it.
Love story. Marry
I get it.
Me,
I get
Julia, you never have to be alone.
It ain't my cup of tea.
I know you.
It ain't for me.
That's all I really know.
It ain't for me. It's like Steve Nash and LeBron James going up in the. Well, no, let me not say Steve Nash. Just like Larry. Let's go. Larry Bird, fucking Michael Jordan.
Larry Legend.
Larry's fire.
But
it ain't no motherfucking Michael Jordan. So what I'm saying is like I get his idea of what he was trying to do. I just don't think he went about it the right way. I think that it hurt him because of the way he went about it, instead of really promoting the message that should have been portrayed, that there is a disconnect between obviously a black artist and a white artist. I understand where he was going, but it fucked it up because he used his emotion and his ego, and he fucked up. I don't know. Yeah, Kanye cray, but I love him. He said some crazy shit, but like I ain't gonna turn my back on him.
Sometimes you get so deep into the mentality of, nah, everything I do is correct.
Yeah.
That you can't back out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like you get so deep into a lie, whether it's a lie that you're telling yourself or somebody else, that you start to believe it. Because for you,
know what? You ever told a lie and you be like, is that shit true?
Yeah, I don't know anymore.
Oh,
I have no idea. See? Because he probably felt bad about it like the next week or when everyone was like, how can you believe Kanye? He probably felt bad about it. But for him to have the self-awareness or the lack of self-awareness, 10 years or however long it's been later to be like, nah, that was the right thing to do. I mean, obviously.
He still don't give a fuck.
He's probably taking in consideration like, look, that year I had a #1 album. That year I had a huge single. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This happened after that. This happened after that. So what am I complaining about? You know what I'm saying? So if you're judging it off of those blessings that are coming in, you're like, it was meant to be. Yeah. It was meant to be.
Yeah. And no matter what people say, Kanye is the GOAT. 808s and heartbreaks. Like, come on. Kanye is the GOAT. Like, he literally is. So I
don't need no album count.
I feel like people need to put some respect on his name.
Right.